Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Scorpio. If Scorpio is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's see what these tea leaves have to say. And we are working with the 5 of Cups tonight, which is in the Thoth system related to disappointment. But don't be too worried. This might be, a time after a conflict, when you have made the choice to kind of walk away. And hello, Pudgy. Really just kind of, felt a disappointment on a deep level. Okay. Doesn't necessarily mean it's happening right now, but it might be lingering. This might be kind of post-incident. Okay, so I just wanted to pull up the card so you could kind of take a look at it. Right here. That sky looks a little ominous, maybe. The orange. If you live anywhere where big storms come in, when the sky turns red or orange, you might want to keep an eye on it. Okay, so the first formation I want to look at, we have a person kind of standing here with their arms up, and if you turn the cup, it looks like another person with their hands kind of up, and kind of almost looks like they're going at each other, really kind of arguing, fighting. It also looks like a heart that has kind of been fractured as well. I kind of also see that the person is kind of stepping on the feet of this other person. So I feel like kind of that saying, stepping on somebody's toes, right? And I feel like this is related to maybe somebody in the family, but I don't necessarily think this is like a direct relation, or maybe not even blood related. This might be somebody who is kind of married into the family, and I feel like it's been contentious from the beginning, but I feel like maybe there's been some continued disrespect. And this might be towards you. This could be towards maybe like a sibling. Maybe they're married to one of your siblings, or, somebody who is relatively close. Maybe not your exact direct family unit, but somebody who is in the extended family. And it seems like they have had some problems. They've maybe had, some pretty big opinions about things that maybe didn't have much to do with them, or maybe they just just don't treat people well. Whatever it is, I think that you have mostly stayed out of it, but whatever the situation right now, in this, this most current situation, I feel like maybe you felt like it was kind of time for you to get involved. Usually you just, you mind your business, you stay in your own lane. Whatever happened this time, it really kind of provoked something in you where you thought, yeah, I gotta say something about this. This is a little too much this time. And I feel that, and I want to look over here, we have this little bird right here kind of standing, and it almost looks like it's like in the ear of somebody right here. And there's the bird. It's kind of got these little sound things coming off of it, like in a cartoon, right? So I feel like somebody has been kind of relaying some of the things that you've been saying, maybe some gossip, maybe a little bit of that telephone game. And, you know, maybe some of the things that you've said have been lost in translation a little bit, been jumbled up a bit, exaggerated, omitted, whatever it is. It has turned into a situation where I feel like it's kind of turned around on you. You are the one that is kind of being blamed for maybe getting involved where you shouldn't have. So you are kind of in that position now. And I feel like that's kind of where this disappointment starts to show itself. Okay, I think that you know, you're kind of just like, I'm over this. This is ridiculous. You're kind of catching some heat, and I don't, you know, I feel like not only does it hurt you, but I feel like it seems like from your perspective that it's pretty unfair, because you usually aren't involved, for one, but two, you were just trying to help, right? And that doesn't seem to have worked out too well. Okay, so I also see, it looks like a person kind of with something over their shoulder. It seems like they're kind of walking away from this whole situation over here. And I feel like this is kind of where we're at, where there's some kind of looking back, considering, and really it feels like this overwhelming kind of feeling of wanting to retreat from your family again. And I don't think this is the first time that has happened. Actually, I kind of vaguely remember that there was some reason you wanted to get away from your family maybe a couple months ago in one of the readings. So I think that this is kind of, you know, part of a normal cycle of things that kind of happens. And listen, doesn't this happen in most families? You know, where it's just things get said, people get annoyed, hurt, you know, there's conflict, whatever it is, and then you end up just not wanting to be involved for a while, you know. And thankfully, you know, maybe there's not too many holidays coming up where you have to go and see everybody. You get a little bit of a break, a little bit of a reason to kind of stay your distance there. Okay. Now, we also have an M right here, an uppercase M. I think that there is interesting this interesting idea of some kind of synchronicity coming up in your life. I think that there's something with an M. I also see a person here kind of with their hand extended out, and it looks like there's almost like a little bird, or I kind of think about one of those dandelion things that you blow and make a wish. I feel that there's just been a great desire, and this is evident in other readings as well, for you to have a deeper connection with some of this magical, you know, otherworldly kind of, you know, different kinds of phenomena. You really are so interested and have such an open heart for some of the more, you know, obscure, odd, magical, extraordinary type of things in life. And I feel that the universe is really hearing you. I think that there's going to be kind of some patterns of synchronicity exposing themselves, showing themselves, revealing themselves to you. And I also see here we have a beautiful cardinal right here with the head and the body, and it looks like it's singing a song. Now the cardinal is always related in my mind to somebody who has passed away that is coming to visit you. I think that this is somebody who loved you very much. I think this is probably a family member, and I feel that they are kind of seeing the dynamic of the family that has kind of been, there's been some, you know, choppy waters at times in the last few years. And I think that this is a family member, maybe a grandparent, maybe a great grandparent, somebody though who really cared about keeping the family together. I also think that this is maybe somebody who wasn't necessarily, you know, the matriarch or patriarch of the family, but maybe somebody who was kind of a little bit more, you know, on the edges of the family, but still very important to the family. And maybe somebody who was quite magical themselves, somebody who maybe possessed some special gifts. Maybe they had, you know, some kind of clairvoyance. Maybe they, you know, did some kind of divination, practiced magic or the occult, something, right? Maybe they were a beautiful and brilliant artist. Maybe all of these things, who knows? But I think that you feel a very special attachment to them, even if you never met them. I think that this is maybe somebody in your family that people say, oh, you remind, you know, you have the same kind of energy as so-and-so. You remind me of so-and-so. And that's always kind of been very touching to you. And I think that this person is kind of like looks out for you. So I think in this time where you're feeling kind of like you could just like walk away, you know, this is when your little bird shows up and lets you know you're loved, you're needed, you're part of this family. And whatever is going on, it's just one small stitch in the tapestry of life, right? This is one little thing and it will pass. But these are your people and they love you, and you know, they need you. You are very important. And I think that through also this communication, this messaging, there is also kind of that burst of energy as far as the kind of synchronicities revealing themselves in your life, okay? And I think that, you know, that's going to be pretty profound for you. I don't think that this is the first time by any means. I think that you have often had engagements with, you know, otherworldly, other kinds of intelligences, witnessing sacred numbers, sacred geometry, patterns, whatever it is. You have an eye for it. Scorpio is very much aligned with that intuitive, but also seeing side of themselves. Now, you know, it's not always puppies and rainbows, as my husband would say, but, you know, sometimes you witness more of those darker places, those more difficult concepts, ideas, imagery, whatever it is, you know, feelings, impressions. And, you know, there's a lot of, on the internet, there's a lot of joking about this kind of staring into the abyss and kind of that, that kind of Cthulhu, like old gods, the anti-cosmic gods and these kinds of things. And I think that you live very close to those portals. These are the doorways that are most known to you. Are you afraid of them? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that you are one of the rare beings that can walk, you know, with that light, with the light, you know, think the kind of the hermit, walk through the dark with your illumination. And you're not super scared of what you're gonna find there. I mean, although, you know, of course, there are horrors beyond beyond conception, right? But I think that if anybody is brave enough to do it, it is you, Scorpio. So let's see, what else do we have going on here? It's usually so quiet here. Tonight has been wild. It's the beginning of the full moon. Kids are graduating. So my little town is very loud. And my cats are going nuts. So it's just been kind of a wild night over here. A lot of energies. So we have a duck. Okay. And I just love, I love the little ducks. I think that they are very, in my mind when I see them, it's always the little families. Actually, today I saw a mama duck with all of her little duckling. What are they called? Gosling? Or no, are those geese? Ducklings, I guess. And we see right here the little duckies. And so, I think that interesting here. Now, maybe you have your own children, but I also think that you have this special way of being able to communicate with younger people. I think that probably you are a little more hip. You're probably into some interesting arts and culture, and maybe the internet's a little bit. And I think that you have the ability to kind of relate to people who are younger than you. And I think even within your own family, and I think this is also family related because they're the ducks that are following the big duck, the duckies following the big duck. So I think that maybe the younger generations in your family are drawn to you. They're interested in hearing what you have to say. And I think that this is maybe more of your position within the family. Maybe you're not the one that's like putting everything together and like throwing the events and whatever, but you are the family member that the younger generation can come and talk to, confide in, get real advice from. When they have something that they don't know how to talk to the other family members about, they come to you first. And I think that you have probably had to navigate some of your own your own things within the family. Maybe they haven't always been so accepting of you, but you are kind of the person that has made a lot of headway within your family and with your family members. And so you are really the one that is very trusted, okay? And I think that you also live your truth. You live your authentic, being, and so, and maybe this is in your greater community as well, but I feel like especially in your family, your ability to be so brave, and, just not compromise about who you are with them, that has allowed other family members to be themselves as well. And I think that is a huge part of why we have this little bird, this past transitioned family member. Let's see if I can get this up here. Coming and kind of embracing you, because I feel like I said, they were kind of marginalized within the family to some degree, although beloved, still kind of sometimes maybe felt alienated or othered. Let's see. I love this formation. It looks like a person who's kind of what I imagine, wearing like a long robe or a long dress, kind of with their hands behind their backs, staring up at the sky, and just kind of contemplating the universe. And I feel like maybe this is a good time for you to kind of go do your thing, get yourself kind of balanced out, have some time away from your family if that is, you know, making you feel kind of stressed out, and you know, fortify yourself, get back to you know, the regular, clever, funny, lovely person that you are. And you know, remember who you are and that deep understanding you have for existing. Not a lot of people have that. And just your ability to navigate pain, unlike most people. Okay. Let's see, where are we right here? We have a big cluster of emotions right now, right in there. We have a little butterfly right here. Oops. Right in here. Okay. And so I very much feel like almost this kind of separation where it's like a sense of dissociation from all of this, like just messy feelings on the ground level. But then there's this beautiful like symbol of transmutation, transcending, metamorphosis, evolution, all the things that the butterfly represents. The great beauty of kind of transcending like any kind of spectrum of anything, but really getting beyond the duality of, you know, of mundane life. The yes, the no, the black, the white, the good, bad, all that stuff, you know, in the higher realms of thinking and being and spirit, none of that, you know, means anything. Everything is kind of blurred into each other. And so, you know, I think that there's a lot of times where when things happen in your normal, regular life, which I would say that's where kind of the family stuff happens, you know, and it feels very emotional, very immediate, very overwhelming, anger, sadness, rejection, you know, just kind of like the terror of like, why can't they see how I see or feel how I feel in this moment? But also having that higher understanding and wisdom that these are all transient feelings. These are all just things that seem to appear to be happening just right now. And so kind of allowing ourselves to cut the ties that we have to those impulses, those feelings, those impressions of being, and trying to maybe, you know, get on the wing of that butterfly and kind of cruise away from it all. Let it subside, let it dissolve away, and then, you know, as things realign themselves, then coming back and beginning again as we do, right? So, I feel like that's our reading tonight, Scorpio. You know, nothing super exciting, I don't think, but gosh, when there's a little bit of family drama, that can feel like it's all of the world, can't it? Especially if you're pretty close with your family. So, I do want to thank you for spending your time with me today, whenever you're watching this. I'm always so honored to bring these messages to you. It is just wonderful to be able to do these readings, to connect with some of you, and if you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. And when I say us, I mean we as a collective. We all are part of this channel and community that is growing here. If you haven't subscribed, think about doing that as well. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos come out. We are on a schedule where I read every sign once a week, and you know, between now and 7 days from now, you can watch your other placements, your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising, Venus. I know people like to watch that one for love and stuff, but also cross-watching for your, you know, spouse, loved one, child, whoever you would want to kind of take a little peek at what's going on in their horoscope. So anyhow, other than that, if you want to leave a comment, I love hearing from each and every one of you. I read them all, and I am so thankful for your openness, and some of you are so generous to share your stories, your, you know, how you resonate with the readings, and also just the really lovely and kind messages that you all leave. So I thank you really from the bottom of my heart for those. Okay, so we will talk again in a few days here, Scorpio. Thank you. Oh, my voice. Thank you.